Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. Des here. Who's ready for some midweek motivation? Plenty of encouragement to get involved in a Wednesday workout of some shape or form. Got a small challenge to encourage you to get involved in, to work off the back of the ongoing Do Running Wednesday workout challenge, which many of the guides are taking part in. I'll have more details of that shortly. But before I get any further today, hope everyone's having a great week. Hope you're making the most of the fantastic weather. I'm just out by the canal. Really nice spot, really picturesque, and the sun being out makes it even better. I felt I really had to get out today. Last couple of afternoons trying to film DOdaily, been cooped up inside, despite the fact yesterday I was actually doing a live interview with a couple of guys. Thanks for the feedback on that episode, really appreciate that. But Monday, I always like to get out there, never miss a Monday with activity. And whilst I didn't, I managed to get out twice. I had to avoid showers and film DOdaily inside. So it's important today for me to get out when it is all about Wednesday workout, when it's about making the most of the surroundings and get some fresh air. And it's particularly important this week as well, isn't it? Because there's somebody who likes to think of themselves as a mental health advocate. Do you know, that's what DOdaily is all about, passing on the message, trying to encourage people to use different methods and processes to feel that little bit better about themselves, particularly activity. That's my real sort of passion, the thing that I know works for me. It's important to also share the message when they're trying to raise awareness. This week, of course, they've placed a theme on it called Connect with Nature, and that's definitely what I'm doing now. Took some nice pictures whilst I've been out as well, something regular DOdaily viewers will be used to. I'll post them up at the end, but it's just absolutely fantastic to get out. And of course on a Wednesday, what I always try to do is encourage people to take a bit of time. If the week's climbing up on them, if busy lives are getting in the way, it's probably the perfect opportunity after a great start to the week, after being fired up and pumped up through Monday motivation and Tuesday training and the solidarity session, to take a few minutes back to see where we are, you know, but also to keep the activity levels high when all those stresses and strains of everyday life can climb up on us. Tends to happen on a Wednesday, I found from experience, because we start the week in a good frame of mind, and as it goes on we tire. But if we can keep our energy high, our positivity high, there's no reason we can't take it into the rest of the week and then look back and say we've had a good one. Going back to the sort of connect to nature theme and being out where I am now, sun's out, you know, I'm sat in a t-shirt, I'm sat doing it in slightly a different way, and that's fantastic, isn't it? Because it gives me sort of it refreshes me from the way I always do it, from what I always do, you know, and it's just fantastic to support such a campaign, you know, and again, it's something I probably do every day without I consciously make a decision of why I do it, but it's getting to a point of doing it subconsciously. You'll know if you watch Wake Up to Walk, I love to get out into the nature, into the countryside, into a local park or down by the river where I live, you know, and make the absolute most of the serenity, the birds whistling, the peace and quiet, to give myself that little bit of headspace to evaluate, like what I'm saying today, to think where I'm at with certain things and try to understand how I can do things that little bit better going forward. And what I really want to sort of talk about today is my sort of relationship the relationship of mental health and physical activity for myself. You know, I'm somebody who really tries to be positive. You know, I'm doing DOdaily to encourage people to get involved in some of the things that work for me. I feel I've taken a bit of a journey over the last couple of years, and I understand all the obvious benefits, like everybody does. You know, you lose weight, you feel good about yourself, it helps you sleep, you know, you meet new people. They're the first things that you kind of realise by taking up activity. But what it also does, there's some real hidden sort of benefits to it, you know, of sort of, for me personally, it's been about connecting with myself when I'm out. As much as I love being in a group, when I'm taking part, whether it is in a group or whether it's on my own, you know, it gives me that time to soul search, to sort of that headspace, and particularly when I'm in somewhere that's full of nature, when I'm on my own, it's definitely the time to sort of look back and think, wow, I've realised how I could do that better, or what I'm going to take forward, and do it so it works better for me, so I live a happier and healthier lifestyle. Of course, mental health is, I think it's a direct, good mental health is a direct response to good physical health. I don't know anybody who's physically fit, and does lots of positive things who then sort of really, how can I put it, not put themselves together. That's kind of the wrong word. What I'm almost trying to get to is everybody suffers from this, but you give yourself the best possible opportunity if you're doing things that are tried and tested. What I'm saying is nothing new. What the mental health awareness campaign is saying, nothing new. Even with the theme of connect to nature, all these things are tried and tested. Thousands, millions of years people have been doing different practices, and all of a sudden, because we live in a world of technology and external output left, right and centre, people go, oh no, that's not for me. Well, that's absolutely rubbish, isn't it? That's what's got humanity to this point. That's what's got us through. Living longer, living healthier is taking on board some of these things that the mental health awareness campaign year on year passes across. And whilst it's a scary subject for many, it doesn't have to be. Yesterday, going back to that episode, we spoke about issues that were really quite deep, are tough to talk about, things that are potentially uncomfortable, but that's okay. When you get out your comfort zone, when you realise that you need to do something to sort your situation, to feel a bit better about yourself, everything changes. For me, when I'm out on a Friday morning looking back at the week, thinking what I've done, down by some water or somewhere like that, it's just fantastic. It's escapism to start with, but it's fantastic for almost having that clean sweep, clearing my mind, giving myself that headspace, and giving myself plenty of opportunity to feel positive. Because I know, and this is what I was talking about with my relationship with mental health is tricky at best, despite the fact I'm positive, despite the fact I feel I can now do plenty of things to keep myself moving forward. I have my moments, and I know my moments are a lot closer together when I can't do the activity I want. I'm a little bit frustrated at the moment. I can't run as much as I want to. The hamstring is just niggling away at me. And whilst at the start of the year I was absolutely flying, I was feeling fantastic again. I'd had a year or so of frustration before that. I just sensed that creeping in. I'm hoping it's not too bad, and just getting out for a walk, sticking to my routines of DOdaily and doing 30 minutes walking at least every day. I'm now up to about 150 days of that. So it's nothing to cock my nose up at, but I can't run. So when I can't do that, I start to feel the strain. What I've mentioned a lot, I'm feeling positive, I'm feeling focused, but it's kind of just dawned on me today that am I as focused as I should be? And I've been thinking, why is that? Why am I almost putting one or two things off when I should be getting it done? And that's probably because I can't do exactly what I want to. So if you've got the opportunity, guys, if you can get out there and use some of these tried and tested methods, why wouldn't you? That's what I'm saying today. Why wouldn't you get out there? I'd absolutely love to go for a good long run to shake it all off, and I've mentioned lots of times, regardless of the weather or what other people are doing, that's what works for me, just getting out there, pounding the pavements, whilst I can find other ways to do it, and that's what I'm doing, making the absolute most. I realise there's still a bit of work to do in terms of mental health and how it relates into my personal activity levels, and that's all I'm kind of encouraging, is you to be a bit more aware of your activity levels, of how you can use exercise and nature to feel better about yourself. Recently we've been running through the DOdaily community a last man standing challenge, where I've asked the guys to do 10,000 steps a day, and if they complete them, they move on to the next day. It's now been running for 37 days. People who have not done challenges like this, have got involved, and they're still going strong. There's 18 from 25 who have made it through 37 days. We've done over 12 million steps. And whilst that's impressive collectively, and whilst people have posted up impressive sort of individual totals, the real important thing is about creating habit and routine and understanding what's available. And like I say, that's all mental health awareness is about. Don't be frightened of it. Don't run a mile, get out there, enjoy it. Speak to people, stay connected, stay tuned into things like DOdaily or other people you might find a lot more intellectual than me. But don't give up. That's the key message today. Don't disregard it. It's important to me, it's important to people around me for several reasons. Namely, a guy who came to the running club in the early days took his own life. We was unfortunately a bit too late. So I'll do whatever I can to keep passing that message on. Not everybody warms to that. Not everybody warms to me when I talk about the subject, but I'm not going to stop because it's so important. It was so important to me. It was so upsetting at the time. So I'll do whatever I can to address the situation for others, to address the situation for myself. And that means constantly working at it. Don't just think, oh, I can do this and I'll be fine. It doesn't work like that. You have to want to feel good. There's a responsibility to each and every person to want to deal with it. And if you're not in that position, you've got to want to do the things that might make you want it, if you get what I mean. And that's all I want to say today, guys. What I am going to finish on, if you can get out and do 10,000 steps today, whoever you are, just to show some support for this campaign, to get involved in this week's Wednesday Workout Challenge, post them up, whether you're by a river, whether you're on a canal path like myself, or wherever you are. Just post up a picture of yourself doing your 10,000 steps. Use the links which will be at the end of the video to share with us. It's all about motivating and inspiring. Mental health is not about myself or any other individual who likes to think they're an advocate, even though we are. It's about absolutely everybody, isn't it? We've got responsibility to be kind and to be helpful to each other. I think in the last year, and even before that, I can't blame it on COVID, that would just be an excuse. People don't necessarily realise that, do they? But why have we not got this responsibility to be kind and helpful and supportive of each other? When you realise that by doing that, it helps your own mental health, you'll get a lot further in life, believe me. You'll get a lot more from life, if anything. So that's all I want to say today, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with Thursday Thoughts, answering your questions. I'd love to receive questions on mental health and on the way I'm feeling and on how I approach things in terms of this subject. I probably won't get many because people tend to struggle with the subject, struggle asking questions and getting out the comfort zone. But when you do, you just might find that snippet of information. Sorry, something landed on my head. You just might find that nugget of information that really helps. I mentioned, again, just one last thing before I go. I mentioned on Thursday Thoughts, on Tuesday training last night when I was interviewing the guys, that one of them said they're still nervous about doing their YouTube channel, and that reassured me and made me feel better. So again, it's made me feel better coming on today and passing on some of my information. Whilst I wish I could be more articulate and offer information with a bit more clarity, I know it doesn't come out like it does in my head. I'll keep working hard at trying to help people, but like I say, it's a responsibility of us all. Please post in your questions again on any of those links, on any of the videos. I'll pick them up. I'd love to sort of dig deep into some possibly uncomfortable subjects and pass on some really useful information about how it's worked for me. Until tomorrow, guys, just doing it.